South Carolina colony was founded in 1633 by eight nobles with a royal charter from King Charles II. South Carolina became the eighth state to ratify the U.S. Constitution in 1788, and the main purpose for founding South Carolina was to expand the colonies, and since it had a lot of riches and natural resources, it became a great place to settle. In South Carolina, it was also allowed religious freedom, but they also relied heavily on slavery and plantation farming. South Carolina was also a royal colony, and it was known as crown colonies and provincial colonies.
We grew tobacco, cotton, vegetables, fruit, livestock. And as they traded things like thread, dishes, shoes, rice, farming tools, dye, furs, and lumber, natural resources in South Carolina colony included like fish, large amounts of lands for farming and plantations and forests. Other than tobacco, fibrous material originated from bark was called hemp, and we used it to manufacture ships, cables, ropes, and it was used to generate profit. Hemp was also produced in the same time as tobacco, so it's considered to be costing a lot more than tobacco itself.
Employment included building grist mills, paper making mills, and bark mills, and other major jobs that included cutting wood and forging iron. And we also made our money through slavery and trade with other colonies and European countries in Africa as well.
In South Carolina, there was no specific religion, but there was a lot of religious freedom. But they did practice a main church in the Protestant church, and they had very limited power because they didn't want to intrude with other people's religious freedom and how they lived their lives. And most slaves were welcomed to churches to prevent rebellion and discrimination and violence. So they were just welcome, even though because they didn't believe in discrimination at all in the colony of South Carolina. And most people would be attracted to South Carolina because they like to practice religion, whichever they like, even if you're a slave.
Okay, the South Carolina colony was a very diverse population from the earliest colonial times until now. And the significant contribution of the cultures in South Carolina is we had more proprietors, which were the first English to establish a permanent colony in the area of South Carolina. We had French Huguenots, European Jews, and we had German and Scottish Irish. And the German and Scottish Irish people settled in the backcountry of South Carolina, which became the breadbasket of the colony. English settlers from Barbados also brought with them knowledge of plantation systems, which depended on slave labor, which became a big hit in South Carolina. The slaves were valuable and wealthy to the wealthy Low Country planters in Charleston because they knew how to grow eggs.
Areas of the population of South Carolina colony was from Europe, and they were mainly from the areas of England and Barbados. The southern colonies had the warmest of the three regions of weather, so they had a subtropical climate where there was hot, humid summers and mild and cold winters.
The benefits of the warm climate was that it made it possible to grow crops throughout the year and was well suited for plantations. But the winters in South Carolina were difficult to survive, but as you can see, the hot and humid summers gave rise to the spread disease, which is a bad thing. And the major town and city of South Carolina was